gather in a secret location. They are extraordinary, yet their identities are unknown. But in 2010, we will witness their power.
I came to LA to make rock and roll. Along the way I had to sell my soul.
I'm very sorry, sir.
J&B straight and a Corona.
Would you like to hear the...
Double Absolute Martini.
Yes, sir. Would you like to hear the specials?
Not if you want to keep your spleen.
I don't care if you screw things up. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to leave you a bad tip. If you're an a-hole, well then you should expect to be tipped accordingly.
We were the only party in the whole restaurant. And the service was awful. They hounded our table, and they gave us the bill before we were done eating, and I was so offended. I was like, I don't know what you people in the East do, but in the West, when you give somebody a bill while they're still eating, that's really offensive. And I was like, I was totally going to give them no tip, but they added on 18%, and I told the guy to go shove it.
People do have a right not to tip sometimes. It depends on the service. Like if your waitress is horrible, ignoring you, gives you the wrong order, is incredibly rude to you and doesn't take care of you like it's your job, then you have the right not to tip your waitress. But if your waitress is kind to you, respects you, gets you what you need, no matter how ridiculous the order is, I have gotten ridiculous orders before.
All right, everybody cough up some green for the little lady. Come on, throw in a buck.
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe in it. I ordered coffee, right? Now, we've been here a long fucking time. She's only filled my cup 3 times. I mean, when I order coffee, I want it filled 6 times.
One man was asking for a specific part of a chicken, which I couldn't give him because at work, basically the chicken was like in log form, and he's requesting a specific part. I'm like, I can't give that to you. The chicken's not what you think it is.
I had a family from France that I waited on, and you know, the French are supposed to be the rudest people and they don't tip and blah, blah, blah. And these were the nicest people in the world, and they left me a 25% tip. This is the first time they've been to America. You know, so they took the time to acclimate themselves with our customs. And more than that, I mean, it's just, they knew and they weren't dicks.
And then we had a group of, I was there too, we had a group of about like 10 people. So even though we got the bill and we could have just tabled it, you know, it's on the side, well, everyone starts wondering what's going on and starts pulling out credit cards and pulling out cash and wanting to see it. It ends up being this huge hassle for like 20 minutes, and we had just barely gotten our sushi. We never went back.
Yeah, that was the last time there. But I definitely tip on like a sliding scale. It always starts at 20% and it can go up and down from there. If it's really above and beyond service, like good service, I'll do 25%. If it was like meh, they didn't really check back, they did the bare minimum, they'll get 15%. If they were bad, as in the time we went to, I'm not going to mention the name of the restaurant, but the place we went 2 weeks ago, and the waitress argued about the drink with Hillary. Hillary's like, no, this doesn't taste right, and the waitress is like, it's fine, I watched the bartender make it. No, as soon as you start arguing with me or being difficult, your tip is 10%, and that's it. You don't deserve more. You might even get a nice note on the back of the receipt, like, here's a tip, learn how to smile and be nice to people.
So, is there anything else I can get you folks this evening?
I think I'd like a hot fudge sundae.
Oh, that does sound good. I'll be right back with that for you.
I've been treated horribly before. People judged me because I was a waitress. A man thought I never finished high school or went to college just because I was a waitress, and that's one of the stereotypes. I hate that, man. Fiery passion.
That waitress, she argued with me about my drink, which was like a black velvet, so it was Guinness and cider, and it was obviously clear, the bottom part of it, so it was just soda water and beer. It was not, no, it was only half alcohol. So I was trying to send it back, and then she didn't bring us side plates, and we all decided to split an appetizer. She only brought us the one plate. Then she took like 40 minutes to bring the bill. It was something ridiculous.
Usually, when I go out to eat and the service is absolutely terrible, it's an automatic 20% at least that I leave for a tip. If they're good, I usually leave 25%. In Ireland and England, they take offense if you tip because they already earn a decent hourly wage, and it's just not part of the culture. But my Irish friends that come here and visit here and live here research and know that they tip when they come here, and they tip very well.
This is a hard job.
So is working at McDonald's, but you don't feel the need to tip them, do you? Well, why not? They're serving you food. But no, society says, don't tip these guys over here, but tip these guys over here. That's bullshit.
I mean, for me, I'd be embarrassed to leave somebody a bad tip if they did a good job. And even if they don't do a good job, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe, you know, I don't think anybody sets out to be a lifelong waiter. Maybe they're in school, maybe they're up writing a paper, they're tired. I don't really care. If I go out to eat, I expect to at least leave 20% just because it's sort of the norm.
I'll be the grapes fermented, bottled and served with a table set in my finest suit, like a perfect gentleman. I'll be the...
That whole idea of adding the gratuity on though, because some people are really, really lacking in tipping. Like, for example, we went out for dinner last night to McFadden's, and we had a Groupon, so it was all free for dinner. We had like $50 there. But they were smart and they put 18% gratuity on the bill, because that's a decent tip and everything, based on the original bill. Because some people would be like, oh, well, my meal was free here, so I don't need to give you a tip.
You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin playing just for the waitresses.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about. These people bust their ass.
I work on days that some people work. Like everyone else will get Labor Day off, I don't get Labor Day off. I have to go into work. People get Christmas off, I have to go into work on Christmas, New Year's, Christmas Eve, I work Mother's Day, Father's Day. I worked Easter and didn't get tipped, and I missed family events.
Or maybe I'll give you like $2, and I'm like, no. Like a tip for that guy was like, I think it was like $9 or something that we left or something.
Yeah, we left for $9.
But it's amazing how some people won't even bother. They're like, oh well, my meal was free, and you're like, yeah, but the staffing, they have to pay them a certain wage to keep them there. Like, you have to help the person out a little bit.
She was a fast machine, she kept them up at me. She was the best damn woman that...
I'm from California, and we tip kind of differently there. So the trick that I learned from my dad was just to double the tax. And when you double the tax in California, that ends up being about 16%. Not a bad tip in California. I think the sales tax is around 8%. And you come here though, I think the sales tax is 7%. You try that trick, you're at 14% by the time you're done doubling it, which is a decent tip for if someone wasn't a very good server, you know, or just like mediocre, didn't go above and beyond, just brought you your food, took your order, and left.
So I think they sort of use their being from a foreign country as a way to feign ignorance and, you know, oh, I didn't know, ha ha ha, but they know.
Our countries are not enemies, they are friends.
I mean, if you go to another country, you should, you know, make yourself familiar with their customs, and that includes handling a tip situation you know, I think it's ridiculous to pretend that they don't know.
We are from Switzerland.
Barry, you know what? We're going to focus on business right
Switzerland. I love Switzerland. It is one of my favorite countries. I love your army knives with the toothpicks and your cheese.
It's kind of not very good tip to give, and so I didn't even realize it for the first few months living here. I think it was finally one day, I can't remember if I asked Mandy or one of our other friends about it, but just to like double check. Oh, we were at a restaurant and we had multiple people all pitching in towards it, and someone asked me to pitch in $1 or $2 more, because I was kind of skimping. And I said, what? I never skimp. Like, I always give a little bit extra. And turns out I was just being a bad tipper for the whole, probably like, first 4 months of living here, and I had no idea at all.